Before I reveal the subject of my talk, let's play a little game and see if you can get the correct answer. It can go longer without water than a camel. It can fall some 5 stories without injuries and climb almost any vertical surface. It can survive large doses of radiation and build up immunity to poisons. It can swim for miles across open water and scuba dive. It's eaten as gourmet food and drunk as special cure-all wine. It's worshipped and fed in a special temple dedicated to it. It can chew through glass, wire, aluminum, cement. You will never believe that I'm talking about a mouse. Today, we should talk of women and mouse. Few things seem as unrelated as women and mice. It's a commonly held belief that women and mice have a long negative background. Women do not like mice at all. On the contrary, women are scared to death by mice. The first myth to bust is that the fear of mice and rats is not a stereotypical female trait. Both men and women suffer from musophobia. Mus is Latin for mouse. Funnily enough, Walt Disney reportedly was terrified by mice. Maybe his creation of Mickey Mouse was an attempt to overcome his fear. Well, today I would like to tell you a story about a woman and a mice. My personal story. Because I have developed an innovative, environmentally friendly, non-toxic mouse repellent. My friend called me the mouse whisperer, but a better title would be the mouse shouter. And this is why. I was biking by the river with a friend when a large rat crossed the street. Ah! I screamed loudly. My male friend did not. At my cry, the rat ran away. This episode made me think and later study our different reaction. The woman screams, the man does not. I came out with the conclusion that screaming in the presence of mice, it's a useful female defense mechanism passed down from the time we lived in caves. Those caves were not as beautiful as this in Matera, of course. Women were in charge with taking care of kids and food. And while giant rodents were attacking and killing babies and eating food supplies, our female ancestors found that they have a very powerful tool, their own voices, to scare away rodents. In fact, the average level of a female scream is 113.8 decibel. The threshold of pain for humans is 130 decibel. Mice are very sensitive to noise. So, in effect, exposing mice to noise stresses them to the point of disturbing their mental and physical balance. So, this is why women that have a higher sounding timbre, scream in the presence of mice, while men do not. So, when it comes with effectively repelling rodents, women have developed unconsciously a very effective mean. And this ancestral instinct is still valid today. The second myth to bust is there is nothing more distant than women and mice. And that's not so true, and we will see. Speaking of their senses, mice have an exceptional sense of smell. something they share with women. You know, women smell much better than men. And study said that mice are scared by the smell of men, while they are bolder in a female company than when men are around. This is why mice are always running to women. They clearly prefer women. So, what about another relation, another parallel? Lack of egoism. Women are very well known for this. And mice? Mice and rats live in communities, and they have a very strong sense of group well-being. This leads to frequent heroic deeds by the many to offering their lives to protect the few. There is nothing less selfish than this. Consider this story. In 1926, a rat-infested warship off the coast of Copenhagen was filled with toxic gas to expel the problem rodents. At the end of the treatment, the rat colony was there, alive and kicking. Everybody was amazed. What happened? And they find out that some rats plugged the pipes with their own body, preventing the gas from entering the holes, thereby saving the entire colony. But which kind of rats did that? The oldest rats. Having lived their lives, they sacrificed themselves for the good of the colony. Here we find another parallel. Mice, as women, take care of the others. Mice colonies are very accepting of orphans. A female mouse that is not pregnant can start producing milk to feed the colony excess pups. Mice sympathize with other mice. They feel the experience of other individuals and can really affect their behaviors. Just think about a woman that can really deeply love another human being, a child, even if it's not its own. So we are not so much different. Another thing is that mice love to be together, playing together, even taking care of sick mice. As humans, when mice are left alone, they can become depressed and autistic. Let's talk of something lighter. Tickling. Tickling is an evolutionary technique that teaches children to protect their weakest part. Tickle fights prepare them for genuine combat. The only two animals in the whole planet that tickles their babies are humans and mice. Amazing, isn't it? You probably associate well-organized, super multitasking and very social with women. And mice? Mice are awfully social, very clean, tidy, and super organized too. Within their integrated underground burrows, they have specific areas for shelter food, for going to toilet, and for sleeping. Let's talk about triviality. What about love for luxury? The rat marks the beginning of the Chinese zodiac cycle. People born in the rear of the rat are told to be smart and wealthy. A white rat was considered by the Roman an auspicious of good luck. Why? Because mice visit only rich houses with plenty of food. Thus meaning many mice, much wealth. It's a stereotype that women are luxury addicted, right? If you ask husbands, they will admit it. But in a way, we are not so different from our mice friend. Do you know that in many Italian dialects, the word prostitute is replaced by that of a female mouse? Have you ever wondered why? There is a reason, scientific, of course. Because mice, female mice, to protect their children from the aggression of adult males and to increase species selection, mate with hundreds of males. So when the pups are born, adult male don't kill them, as they in fact don't know if the pups are their own or not. Furthermore, female mice have an auto-insemination tool built in. They can return sperm in an internal pouch and self-fertilize at will. They don't need males anymore to make babies. It's the first fertility clinic in the world. And now for something completely different. Do you know there is a saint to ward off mice? You will not be surprised to know that, of course, she is a woman. Gertrude of Nivelles, it's a French abbess, lived in the 7th century, and she protects houses from the invasion of mice. The mouse running on her mantle represent and symbolize the souls in the purgatory, as they are marking the transition between this world and the other, like the old Sibyl living in caves like this. They were in the ancient classic world. Those mice also remind us of unconscious bonds with the underworldly as they travel in and out the bowels of earth. Given all this information, would you ever think that we could love mice? To tell the truth, many do, because they are caring, smart little pets. I'm quoting a very famous French actress. I had mice that I kept as pet when I was very young. I always liked the way they look, even rats. I'm not scared by them. So now you know that the very glamorous Catherine Deneuve lived with rats, and she loved them. Do you know that there are at least 60 different mice characters in fairy tales and cartoons, ranging from Mickey Mouse, that is world famous, to the rat in the Old Pied Pipers, to the mice in Cinderella. We teach our children to love those mice because they are cute, clever, and resourceful. But even in fairy tales, thieves can be very dangerous. In fact, the word mouse in English and Latin derives from a Sanskrit word musha, for thieves. A little mouse can eat up in one year 27 kilos of food and contaminate much more. In many countries, considering the large number of mice, this can make the difference between life and death. This is why we are scared by them. But if after all this, you want to keep your own mice in your home, remember, mice don't like cheese. They prefer chocolate, just like women. Apart from these controversial stories and facts, believe me, mice are ingenious creatures, incredibly resourceful. They are stealing a sausage from a pan and adaptable. Despite years of trying to control their population in the attempt to protect our food and ourselves, they have thrived to go alongside human civilization. Over time, they have earned our reluctant respect for their creativity, despite the disease the damage and the danger they cause. So we can just conclude and say that mice are dangerous, incredibly resourceful, stubborn, caring, never to be underestimated, multitasking, able to steal and destroy properties. But perhaps men would not say the same about a woman. Thank you. Grazie.